They say I'm useless, so clueless. When I made the same, you should feel ashamed. Dad's a liar.
You're about to see a movie unlike any other that you've seen before. In this movie, you're going to see exploration of the world and people. There were no releases assigned for this movie. There was no financial support for this movie. And what we came up with is going to blow you the fuck away. At the end of this movie, we're going to do something that most would say is impossible. We're going to prove the existence of God. Hey you, you're on my mind. I'm sitting down in front of these 88 keys. There. And I've been trying to think of a song to play for you. You probably won't. I'm not going to send you this video, but I at least wanted to put it down. But I've been thinking about you a lot, and at first, the idea of you losing or leaving the country for a year, what is it, June 14th right now, so October 1st, as you leave, at first it was some sort of like distant thing at some point in the future. And I know timing was never our strong suit. But the more time that I've spent talking to you, and I don't know, I'm in love with you. And that thought scares me to death. Not because of you or me, because of the fact that what I would call the love of my life is leaving. And we're talking about much more than a quick flight away. I mean, we're talking about being across the world, across the globe. So, in a few days when I see you in Los Angeles, I'm going to bring this up to you, and my hope is you'll understand that, the idea of just putting something on hold for the year that you're gone may make more sense than resigning this, what I feel is a very strong connection to the depths of a long-distance relationship. So out of respect for the way that I feel about you, I think it's probably best if we just let you focus on yourself for that year and me focus on some things that I've realized I need to address since talking to you. And when you come back, if you'll give me that privilege, I would love that golden opportunity to revisit this in the future. So, but it's still summertime, and I still get to see you pretty soon. And I wanted to play you a song. So, this is called St. James Infirmary. I think it's pretty fitting for how I'm feeling right now. I went down to St. James Infirmary, saw my baby there. She was stretched out on a long white table, So sweet, so cold, so fair. Let her go, God bless her. Wherever she may be, she can search this whole wide world over, but you'll never find another man like me. Hey, I just woke up and it was the best night. Why are you going to work? Why are you at work right now? You could be at home listening to Louis Armstrong. Hey, brother. Yeah, so here's the view from the room. Hold up. These things open. So, you may remember the Chateau Marmont. That's where Carolyn worked. That's where we spent some time. There's the Hollywood Hills. We got West Hollywood here. Very pretty. Downtown comes over here. And then some other bullshit. And if you kind of come through, so yeah, that's where you fuck. That's where you have sex. And then if you come through here, you can see Century City. And then I don't think you can see the Pacific Ocean from here, but it's definitely out there. I've walked 11 miles today from here to the Pacific Ocean, and I feel like a fucking god. All right, brother, I'll talk to you. Bye.
What does it mean to be aware? Have you ever longed for something else? Living in a dream while life is hell.
Since I'm not going to get a chance to actually see you, which I totally understand, and you know, part of me says to myself that this is kind of exactly what should have happened. I want to tell you a few things. Over the past 2 months, talking to you, I am so in love with you that I've had a tendency to cry uncontrollably. How did I fuck this up? We had a deal. And we just don't anymore. Hello. Wanted to say hello. Think about you. The moment that I wake up, is there's like usually a flash, and before I go to sleep, you know, every day. And I guess I'm hoping that it'll go away at some point. How's my hair? Is it okay? Wait, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for the call last night. I don't know if you remember it or not, but I do. And just hearing your voice means the world to me. So I hope you're well. Bye. Hey, how you doing? So I know I look like a piece of fucking garbage right now, and I probably look fucking insane to anyone walking around me, but I don't really give a shit anymore. So I'm gonna tell you a story. It's called Truth Rabbit.
think that some of it is bullshit, but at the end of the day, I want you to remember one thing. Everything that I tell you is 100% true. Everything, okay? Yeah, so this week, I've lost everything I have. Not because it was stolen from me, because I gave it away. My wife, I finalized my divorce after going to court on Wednesday. I gave her everything that I have in my bank account, and then also everything that I don't have. I lost my key employee. You know, I did it in a hostile way. She resigned, but my reaction was terrible. A colleague of mine, she mentioned that as I was on a podcast with her today, when I sniffled 2 times, it sounded like I was on cocaine. She said it was a joke, but the reason I'm sniffling is because I'm on cocaine. And I laughed at that because I think that's fucking amusing. I think it's funny to destroy yourself with drugs and alcohol. I've been doing it since I was 14 years old. I'm 34, by the way. The goal this year was to last until September 1st. It's July 14th right now, so it's getting close. I'm tired. I haven't slept well in a long time. I've traveled a lot. I don't want to tell you, I've met a lot of people too. Basically, I've had a backstage pass to a lifestyle for the past year, where I've done whatever I wanted to do, whenever I wanted to do it, anything. You know, I'm not sure what's next. I really can see it going both ways. I want you to ask yourself one question. What's the biggest coincidence I've ever had in my life? Can't think of one, could you? I mean, maybe 1 out of 100, 1 out of 1,000 people could think about that in 5 seconds. But what I just did is I activated a part of your brain that's been dead for a long fucking time. Well, that's the biggest coincidence in my life. It was the day I met Guy Kellner. For those of you who don't know who he is, he's only the best musician, singer, songwriter, guitarist, the best in the entire fucking world. And I met him by chance. Hey, how you doing? Just call me Jimmy Gatsby. I'm going to tell you about a first date that I had recently. And this first date, I'll just go right into it. So I'm at this jazz bar a couple weeks ago. So in walks this woman, and I mean, I'm 34 years old. This girl's not a day over 27. She walks in, she's got this silk orange dress on that she just looked like such a fucking, she looked like a model, to be honest with you. Okay, so we meet again. The bands start to come on, and it's about, let's say 7:30 or so. Everything's going pretty well, but no, there's no but. Everything's going fucking well. She looks great. I'm happy. I understand that this girl may not be in my life for very long, and I'm gonna just go ahead and let her do what she wants to do. She's basically a pinball, where she starts to kind of bounce around from person to person, conversation to conversation, and while she does so, I'm not the kind of guy who's gonna get jealous at all. I kick back, and next thing I know, maybe the concert promoter and Marissa and these 2 band members, they're the headlining band for the night, they all kind of start hanging out. We're talking about things, and oh cool, I fucking love the Rolling Stones. My favorite album is Some Girls. He's like, man, Some Girls is a fucking great album. I said the B-sides on that fucking album is insane, or are insane. So we start rapping about Rolling Stones. The girl, like, I'm not even really paying attention to her. It's not that I'm ignoring her. It's just there's other shit going on. She's talking to other people. She's a very attractive woman. You know, people want to know who she is. And she keeps talking. Then I start talking to the lead singer. More conversations. He's like a singer-songwriter, very talented guy. And, yeah, I guess the guys kind of disperse. And Marissa she says to me point blank, she's like, oh yeah, that promoter, like he like deals cocaine. I said, oh, would you like to do some? And she goes, well, and she kind of catches her off guard for a second, but she's like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, okay, let me go get, like, what are the quantities? She's like, well, $40 for this, or 60. I was like, what should I, like $40? She's like, no, let's do 100. I was like, okay, so I go to the ATM, pull out $100, come back, give it to her, and she goes and buys $40 worth from the doorman and $60 worth from the concert promoter. So she comes back with a blow. The lead singer's there. The drummer's there. So there's only 2 of the band members there that night because the other one's like, he's in Paris or some shit like that. But so she cracks open the fucking blow, and we go. And I want to say at some point before this, she turns to me when it's just the 2 of us, and it's like she says point blank, you could leave or you could be gone and it wouldn't matter to me at all. And it kind of caught me off guard, but I was like, well, yeah, I kind of understand what you're saying. And I didn't say that. I was just like, okay, well, that's fair. And anyway, that happens. But the more I think about it, the more it reminds me of some other things that women have said to me in my life. For example, I was in Florence, Italy once. And we wind up going to this bar, and she turns to me point blank and she says, very matter of fact, I'm not going to sleep with you tonight. And I was like, well, and I kind of brushed it off. I was like, yeah, well, that's fine. What happened? I slept with her that night. So when Marissa said to me that, she could leave, I was thinking to myself, oh, same idea. She's trying to convince herself mentally that she has any attachment to me at all, but apparently at some point between the time that I met her the night before and that moment where she made that comment, something clicked and she wanted to fight it off with that statement. Who am I to oppose? So she winds up, she scores the coke and we go in the bathroom. We each do a bump. I did probably 2 bumps, like 1 for each nostril. She did like 4 to my 2. We go outside, start talking to the band members again. Hey guys, do you want to do any cocaine? Well, sure, we would. Okay, great. Let's go in the bathroom. So all 4 of us pile in there. We come out, it's like gymnastics. Marissa is bouncing around left and right, talking to the guys about music. All of a sudden, someone says the word Mike or the name Michael Mann. Now, I don't know if you know who Michael Mann is, but in my opinion, he's the best director in the history of modern film. And, when I hear that name, it was like out of nowhere. I own every Michael Mann movie. I can quote, I can even tell you what parts of the script, of the different scripts overlap where he uses the same language. But the point is, I really appreciate his film because it's like art. It's not, sometimes the films aren't, they're always magical, but sometimes, it's the one consistent factor in every Michael Mann movie is the way it looks. It's the cinematography, it's the way that he presents the film, and it's an honest yet still like romanticized view of the world. And when I heard that name, it struck a chord with me, and I said to myself, or I said to the drummer, I was like, oh wow, yeah, he's the best director in the world. He goes, yeah, we know. I said, okay, cool. Now Marissa starts helping them unpack their musical instruments. The drum kit, the guitars, whatever else, hooking up amps, shit like that. So she's going at it. I'm just sitting there fucking recording it. I've got videos of it, but I guess I'll splice in. We're here in the Madrid train station. The last couple days we've been in Dallas, New York, Dallas, Toronto, Madrid. We're headed to Barcelona in about an hour. We missed our train just now. So where were we? Kind of, command her. To grab our dick or whatever, and when we do, she complies. She grabs her cock, put it inside of her. I guess we kind of had like a flashback as we were like thrusting inside of her that reminded us of this girl, I don't know, what could we call her? Michaela. Call her Michaela. Yeah, I call her Michaela. So anyway, as we're hooking up with Marissa, we're thinking of Michaela, and with Michaela, we used to come inside of her. It was on the pill, and we were kind of looking at Marissa, but it felt so natural to be with Michaela that we were so comfortable that we just came to climax and did it inside of her on the first day. So that was it, and then we passed out, and that was our first date. She drove off, my Uber came, and I was gone. And then I went to my my drug and alcohol counselor immediately thereafter. That's all that happened.
Sit and hear you talk for hours. Tell me every single thought in a shower. Half the time I know you lie, still I wanna hear you try. I could sit and hear you talk. I just wanna hear you talk. The only time you tell the truth is when you're talking in your sleep. All the promises you broke, all the secrets
We walk into the room, and the music's already playing. I'm kind of concerned that they already come on stage at this point. But apparently it turned out we were only 30 seconds into the first song. So the timing was fucking incredible. Got some cocktails, started drinking. Dana showed up. There was a little space next to the stage. And yeah, about a few minutes later, this is probably about halfway through the set, no one's really dancing. And that first night that we heard the band, everyone was fucking moving and shaking their asses. So I walk up, and I could see everyone in the crowd. Everyone in the crowd was kind of like, they were kind of moving. They weren't dancing, but they were kind of in their little space, just kind of tapping their foot or kind of moving their torso. And it's like they wanted to dance, but no one was dancing. So I'm like, fuck this. So I go up to Marissa. She's seated with Daniel. I said, you want to dance with me? And she nods. She goes, yeah, let's do it. So I take her hand. And there were these three girls that were dancing. They kind of like trying to, but they just, since someone else is, it's kind of awkward. So Marissa and I take her hand, and then we start moving our asses. Very similarly to the night before. Well, the three girls who were quasi-dancing, then they start dancing, and the people who were kind of moving, then they start dancing. So then the whole fucking place is dancing. So that's happening. We're having a fucking blast. There's a grand finale on the set. Guy was great. The music was awesome. I think it was helpful that we showed up. And, after the set, Marissa's like, hey, let's all take a picture. I'm like, no, you take the picture. I'll take the photograph of you and Guy. And they got this really cool photo. It's all kind of this blue background of them holding these two guitars. And afterward, we all head up to the bar, which is kind of in the next level up, where you can kind of still see the stage. And yeah, so we have cocktails and all. What we're doing here at this Catalonia museum, which is the region of Spain that Barcelona's in. We're looking for a little painting called Guernica. It's a Picasso. It's very famous, and that's all I really want to do here. So I'm going to try to find it and keep telling you this story. We go to, so what's cool is my friend Daniel, he's kind of rapping with all of these folks that are, you know, these musician friends of guys. They're all from Seattle. It's a fucking cool group. I go outside and I realize that, well, that was from another installment, but I realized that I'm about a half a block away from where I had the first meeting after 10 years with what I would say the love of my life. And it was just so funny that we were only a half a block away. Anyway, we leave there and then we all decide to go out to Brooklyn. I felt like we could get away with the following. So I say, hey, Ryan, you want to do any cocaine? He said, uh-huh. I said, let's do it right here on the table, which is like this little table about 10 feet away from the bar. It's like a booth where four of us are sitting. So I put out the jar. I dropped two lines. I cut them up into two lines. And then we, right there, we just, you're seated at a bar, no big deal. So we wind up staying until about 4 a.m. We close down the bar, close our checks. Guy says later, we say goodbye to his friends. Me, Marissa, and Daniel head back in a cab into Manhattan, and I'll come back with more. Okay, still looking for Guernica. Bye. Well, guten Abend. Buenos tardes. I'm on this side street of Barca right now. Danny's got he's got a Norwegian girl back at the hotel. I think our passports are in jeopardy, but I hope he gets laid. Small price to pay. Maybe we'll have to spend a little time at the American consulate. I do have my wallet on me, so that's key. But I'm going to say right now that it's looking at it's dicey to get out of here alive. That's okay. Well, here we are again. And we're in some fucking square in Barcelona. I took one of my earphones out. This is where everyone kind of gathers and plays. But I've been looking very deeply into the fact, like, am I a sociopath? Because this particular creature that I've encountered before, that I would call the love of my life, that is from head to toe, the most intriguing woman I've ever met. She called me a sociopath, and it stuck with me. So I spent some time here while I'm in Barcelona, reading a little book called The Sociopath Next Door. And, I finally get to 105 pages in. One moment. I get to page 105, and it says, in my 25 years of being a researcher on sociopathy, she said, you would think that if you ask a sociopath, what do you want? You would think that the sociopath would say, oh, well, I want money, or I want, power or control. They don't want that. The one common thread to sociopaths is their desire to elicit pity from other humans. And only 1 in 25 people is a sociopath, so that's 4% of the population. But if you've ever met someone who leans on your pity, the pity story, the pity party, and then they use that to manipulate you and extract stuff from you, that's a sociopath. I know one, and it's not this particular creature. And after talking to my counselor and friends and a lot of family members, it's not me either. So, anyway.
if it's the last thing I do. Life empties out on you eventually. I tried to figure it out, tried to plant the seed.
A little fucked up right now. That's a little bit normal. You got a little sun kiss on her face. Her shit looks red. It's all good. I want to say that I had probably one of the best days, if not the best day of my life today. We'll be on the beach, just relaxing, fucked up, and being a sociopath. So that's what I got. Good luck. Good night. Peace out. Come. And if you need me, I'll be around in about 3 hours.
Well, a couple days after we got back from Europe, now I'm checking the mail, and it looks like something from the IRS. This is a tax refund. Hold on 1 second. Just check it out. Cool. Okay. Here it is. For all the pain and all the misery, let's see what we got here. Oh dear. Oh, look at that. This treasury 25043.00. Nice job, self. Congratulations.
Been head first. Ooh, now don't you feel cool when you start to drown? Well, let me lend you my hand. We could swim around. We could be best friends.
So I've been thinking a lot recently. Thinking uncomfortable. I bite my lip. I want to touch something. Just to look at myself on camera over these past. I mean, even now I want to think about how I appear on camera versus what I'm actually saying. It's almost like a presentation. Although I think I'm kind of a badass, really. It's just, I'm so misguided. The system's all fucked up. My whole system is just fucked. I feel like I have an awareness of that now for the first time in my life. Just plan how you're going to do it. You need to get to Portugal fast. You don't need to run into her. Hi. I'll be like, hi. Oh no, I'm not here to bother you. Actually, I'm meeting a friend. I gotta go. See ya. I've been back, well, I guess exactly, no, not exactly, but pretty much a month. The first thing I did is I went and I contacted each of the other counselor or therapists that I've been seeing. They both said they don't, they're like, no, you're not a sociopath. They said that, sociopaths don't do what you do. They say that a sociopath wouldn't, care about his brother. A sociopath wouldn't, even be concerned if he or she was a sociopath. I mean, it's just, they don't give a shit, right? And I don't know, I guess I was just misguided. It only took just shy of 90 days from the moment I left the Sunset Tower in Los Angeles to this day right here. That's how long it took. And just wanted to timestamp that. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
It's hard to hold myself together. All I do is wait on you. Always being told whenever. Soon enough would be too.
Hi. So this message goes right out to Michaela. It does not matter at all what is thrown at me. I'm coming for you. You're my girl. I mean, I decided that, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. I fucking fight every day, all day, for you. Hi. I'm walking because I don't have a car. My car's old. I'm old too. This may sound a little bit strange, but tomorrow, Marissa and I are going to fly to New York City. We're going to meet Guy, the lead singer-songwriter, who we're going to meet at the Mercer Hotel, where we have a suite. He's going to come and sign some paperwork. The paperwork is his deal to be managed and fully licensed for his music globally by the best and most heartfelt management licensing company in the business. I'll be there when he signs it. The lawyers are finishing it off now. It's important that it happens tomorrow. Rock and roll, it's dead. Rolling Stone magazine just got put on the chopping block this week, 2 days ago. Yesterday. People don't listen to rock and roll anymore. And I think I know why. I think it's the same issue that I had with Michaela. A guy doesn't know how to express himself. Feels uncomfortable. Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters, he put out an album last week. It got mediocre reviews. Mainly it's pushed by the music industry. I listened to it and it's the same fucking problem I have with Michaela. It shows no introspection at all. It sounds the same as it did back in the 90s. Well, no wonder no one listens to rock and roll. That's why hip-hop is king. Or rap, or whatever genre you want to call it, but it's the synth, it's the drum machine. I start talking to people, asking them why. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel cool. It makes me feel sexy. And it makes me feel a certain way. When I listen to the Grohl album, I realized there's no feeling. It's kind of sociopathic. I can't believe what we're going to do. This is going to be a game changer. Oh my God. All right, Danny, listen to this. This is so bad. It's only a few seconds, so check this out.
I didn't mean to be
Renaissance, if you ever were awake in history class, had 5 key components that allowed it to occur. The first was the printing press. Helped disseminate information quickly, very cheaply. Now, you may be able to follow me here, but I think we got a modern day equivalent. I'm not talking about something in the last 100 years. I'm talking about 2017, our equivalent is the internet and social media. It connects people all over the world. Number 2, the location of Italy. It acted as a hub. Now, it could be Manhattan, or maybe it's just the idea the internet takes care of that centralized hub. Number 3, humanism. People suddenly realize that everyone is equal. No one person is better or worse than another. Our equivalent today on this is how we address things in society like racism, sexism, things like that. It's under the spotlight right now. 4, the Medici family. They had the deep pockets. They bankrolled the whole fucking thing. You want to commission a piece of artwork? Sure, we got the money for you. You want to write a symphony? Let's do it. Rock and roll. And number 5, the 95 Theses. Now, this probably is Greek to most people, but the 95 Theses was written by this fucking German badass back in 1500 named Martin Luther. Not Martin Luther King, the original Martin Luther. You know what Luther means in German? Army of the people. So an army of artists and musicians. We could call them all artists, really. They show up, get bankroll, people realize that everyone's equal, and the arts explode. All the pieces are in place except the 95 Theses.
Okay, so yeah, we just got an email from Marco. We sent him everything that he wanted to see, everything he wanted to hear. He's sending it to all of his agents at the firm. Let's call it Marco LLC. Anyway, let's see what they say, and yeah, we'll see if they like the musica. But oh man, we're getting close here. I mean, we're talking to one of the top 10 bookers in the fucking country. This is insane, really. So I'll keep you posted. Whole thing could blow up at any time. We got a deal struck with Guy and Ian, and we're just gonna wait to see what the powers that be happen to say. Cool. Thanks, guys. Hey, you'll never guess what happened today. A couple things, actually. The first thing that happened is I got the records. All the records arrived, and the gentleman at the FedEx store, he said, before I even opened them, he said, this band came in one time, and he said their name, or he couldn't remember the name, sorry. And he said they had a package that looked just like this. I said, what kind of music do you like? He goes, country, bluegrass, stuff like that. I'm like, you want to hear this? And I said, why don't you open this up? And he did. And he's like, oh, cool, music. I said, yeah. I said, you want to give it a listen? He said, sure. So I flipped on my phone, and he loved it. I take the records immediately to the largest record store here in Dallas. I talk to this guy. He reviews the music. I give him the album. I give him some background. I said, there's interest in this music, man. You got lots of interest in the industry. You got a top booker. You got a media, a PR agency. You got someone from a festival standpoint. You know what he says? He says, I can't wait to listen to it. I said, look, this is the heavyweight. I said, give me any honest feedback, but I'm telling you, pretty sure that this isn't the guy that singer-songwriter everyone's been waiting for, because he's just one guy. And he said, well, what's his name? I said, Guy. Then, this is where it gets a little funky.
was like 4 days ago.
That was 3 days ago. None of us have it. No, wait. Yes, you were. No, I was 2 days ago. You were 3 days ago.
I had a
took
show
a night and I took a morning.
2 days. I had a show 2 days ago.
Hey, he beats you.
I'm slightly less disgusting than you, but I also sweat like 6 times more than you because of the drums. So I don't know who's winning and losing here.
No, I had a show yesterday when we drove.
Yeah. What the fuck was that? Can we talk about this, Mister? We got 3 minutes to fucking pack up our shit and leave, and he's fucking taking a shower.
We all got like 18, like super late. He's like, yeah, I'm taking a shower, mate.
He was couch surfing, and he goes to pick up his bag, and while he's picking up his bag, he just gets in the shower and doesn't tell any of us. And I'm like, wait a minute, I hear water running. Dan's in the fucking shower. And then Guy and Leslie was like, we're leaving him here. We're just leaving. And I'm like, well, no, we're not leaving him in.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
Chicken. Must be chicken.
Yeah, she was like laying out. If you
Well, you got that.
me, this
You got cooking skills down. Yeah. Excellent. It's like, honestly, seriously, amazing.
So fucking proud of you guys right now.
I'm so proud of you guys right now.
Okay, so we're in Olten, Switzerland right now, and playing at a little band called Le Croc, or a little bar called Le Croc. And yeah, we're just, we got off the road. It was kind of long. I believe we were in the car for maybe 8 hours or so. This country's beautiful, and I'm happy to be here. There's tons of people around, and there's some piano playing. I wanted to check that out. Right there. It's a music town, I think. And I was just talking to some folks who wanted to know about the band and where they were playing, which is kind of cool. And they're going to stop by the show. So I'm going to try to see how many people I can get to the show tonight, and see what we can do there. I think I'm really cut out for this shot, to be honest with you. let's see, what else? Oh, I got to have some really great conversations and listen to some awesome music on this drive. The sheer amount of pop culture references between the music we played, the music we talked about, and then the references to movies, and then, art and film, documentaries, things like that. Just really killer. Fun being on the road a little bit. Man. I just talked to the production company about this movie, and they are very adamant, and they're going to say it's either the worst movie ever made or the best. And they just don't know. I don't know either. I don't even know how this thing started. I mean, well, I guess Michaela was the one who kind of indirectly, I think about this sometimes. It's when would I be, or why did I even meet these guys? And it was all a reaction to, what happened with her. I just think it's interesting, and leaving that hotel, leaving her place in LA, and then going to that hotel and meeting that guy who, was a songwriter who got signed with a big, label. And I listened to his music, and it was just fucking terrible. He's a great guy, kind of conflicted, but he was just, the music was just bad. I'm like, how could someone get signed for all that money and play music like this? Something's wrong with it. So that locked into my brain. And then hair and makeup did a fucking terrible job today. So, so that's locked in my brain. And then I think to myself, a week later, I meet these two guys playing a duet on a 17-hour first date. And all that just kind of manifested itself into this project. It's crazy how life happens. It really is. And just the things that have gone down, and just organically spending more time, looking at the music industry, looking at media, talking about it, with people. I don't know, this thing's just starting to make a lot of fucking sense right now. So I'm excited. And I hope the production company's excited about this too, because it's a very big outfit, like in terms of capacity, or I guess maybe, I don't know, ability. It's probably the most capable group that I think that could have made this happen. So if they do a good job, then I think maybe we could deliver the goods. And maybe it's just the worst film anyone's ever seen. I don't know. There's only one way to find out, and that's to try. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so this is the venue, La Coque d'Or. Here's the space. Kind of a tight stage. They hit it with the smoke. Jason will be here on keys, not the guitar. Ian will be in back, banging on that kit. Leslie will be on bass right here. Notice there's a mic tonight. He'll be singing. Ian, he's got a mic too, you just can't see it because of the smoke. And then, obviously, Jason has a mic too. There. And finally, Guy will be right there. No keys for him though. And this one I'm pretty proud of. Well, it's kind of dark, but you can see it's all the merch. Call it the merch. I think they should start calling it the shit. How much shit did you sell last night? But notice here's the new album. People can purchase it if they come to a show now, even though it's not released till October 13th. Here's my favorite part of this album. No, I can't see it. Let's try it this way. Let's try it this way. favorite part right here. Come on, iPhone. Come on, buddy. Right there. Right. That's why it's a winner. That's your guy. It's my guy. So I know I look like garbage, but what I pitched, guy's guitar went out tonight, and he was forced to just sing, and he was carrying the band. Well, he was carrying anything, but everyone else was playing, and he was just on vocals, and he never does that. And I said, Guy, tonight was a sign. I want you just on vocals. Let's get everyone else to switch it up a little bit. We're gonna put Alessio on lead guitar instead of you being on lead. Jason's gonna get off the keys and play bass, and fucking Ian Cunningham's gonna stay on drums. And let's just see what happens when you're just doing vocals and you can do stage movement. No guitar, let's just see what you look like. So let's check it out.
Yeah. I was still recording it.
Are you recording? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can get us both.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question is, I'm trying to understand one concept right now. Of the people who randomly just came down, fresh people who had never seen the band before, how many people would you say came in? 30. Okay, and I noticed that, and this makes total sense to me, that some people, they heard it and they left, and other people heard it and they really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
My question is, of the 30, how many people do you think stayed? Take your time.
Maybe over the time it was more than 30.
Yeah, but
gone,
the
came
random,
back,
yeah, what would you say? Because you know this place.
Around this 30, I think 10 to 50 stay.
10 to 15?
1/3.
About a third?
Yeah.
My question is that good if a third of people who listen to this music fucking dig it? 'Cause everyone at the end of the day, the people who stuck around, they dug the music.
I think so. I think so.
Good percentage-wise for a band?
I think it doesn't look like it, but I think so.
I think it is too.
It is, because it's
a third of people. If you played it to 100,000 people, 30,000 people would fucking.
People.
That sounds huge.
Yes, and it is, because I think, look what's happening with advertising. You got an ad, internet,
impressions. You have the impressions, yeah.
You got the impressions, but you got them like 90% of the people don't care about the product.
Right.
And.
But if you capture 30%,
that's perfect. I mean, it's more than everyone who buys an ad will think about.
That's fucking crazy.
And that's okay. And it's also.
I love it.
I had, and I never thought that before, but over the years, I had to get along with it that a lot of people just aren't interested in live music at all.
Yeah, right.
They just don't care.
They just don't care.
If
right.
there's a band there, they just.
It doesn't matter. It's music. I talked to some tonight. They said it's music. It doesn't matter.
They can be the best fucking band in the world.
They don't fucking care.
They just don't care. And it's just that with listening to music.
Yeah.
You can play them the best song you've ever heard.
It doesn't fucking matter. It's just music to them. It's like it'd be like playing do re mi. Yeah.
It's danceable. Okay.
Right.
It's sad. It's nice.
Right.
Who the fuck cares?
But
they don't really listen to it, and that's it. And it's true. And you have to. It's just.
To capture, but so if you take that into account, and they still capture a third.
No, it was great. It was awesome.
That's fucking impressive.
No,
I'm gonna put them in front of 100,000 people and see how many people stick.
They would work. They would work so much.
They need to be on a big stage. In my
opinion. That was the reason why I booked them, because I knew no one knows them.
Mm-hmm.
In Switzerland, no one.
No name. No.
I knew. I know that. I've known that.
But you still did it.
I've known it, but I did it because I listened to the sound and was like, they would work.
Yeah.
They would work if people are there.
Yeah.
And
you were right.
It was right. People loved it, and I think.
Fucking killer, man. And here is the venue. You can kind of see it over my back, so it's like a pretty popular part of Toulouse. And this town looks cool. The restaurants look great. It's a young sort of vibe. Happy to be here. And yeah, the only thing I wish Danny were here. Danny LaFrac. Miss that guy. Well, we lost Marco today. He said, you better look for another agency. Apparently, I mean, he didn't give us any feedback. He was just like, look, he's like, boys, he's like, just look for another shop right now. Okay. So it's the next morning after our little experiment, and I saw a lot of positive things with the experiment. I saw a lot of negative things. Maybe not a lot of negative, but I definitely saw a lot of positive. The crowd responded. I think they were moving around. I think it was cool. I feel like the wording on the intro could change to be softer and more accommodating to the crowd. I think that movement could be pretty reduced at the beginning, and then as the song builds, it increases.
fucking beaming right now. I didn't tell anyone this because, well, I didn't do it. 3 nights ago, we played a little club in Biarritz, France. We didn't think anything of it. And we showed up, and all of a sudden we saw sand dunes. And we're like, oh my God, is the ocean on the other side? I mean, we knew the ocean was there. We didn't realize it was that close to where we parked. I mean, it was literally within half a kilometer or something like that.
I'd like to thank her for the way she makes me feel. If I could do the things she likes to do for me, I wanna tell her she's the best that she can be. If I really love her the way she loves me, if I really love her the way she loves me. Don't I know it? I'm hard to love. Being funny is not enough. Living neatly, quite discreetly, living easy until she leaves me. I like to thank her for the way she makes me feel. If I could do the things she likes to do for me, I wanna tell her she's the best that she can be. If I really love her the way she loves me, if I really love her the way she loves me. Good connection is hard to find. Conversation is not a fight. Another dreamer lies in bed. We'll go dancing inside my head.
Yeah, we're walking down the main street, like on the, not in San Sebastian, but I mean we are in it, but it's like not the exact like the epicenter of it or whatever. But it's still, I'm feeling great right now. So we walk up to the beach. You know, we see this. Immediately the sun is setting. We're like, are you fucking kidding me? After this rough road, Ian's sick, but everyone's like feeling great. You go up to the water. The water's, it's cool, but it's not like the worst in the world. And we go there. You know, we hang out. I film a little bit, and I mean, it just got electric so fast. We go to the club. Actually, I hear Ian say, oh my God, this club is great. It's like fucking this old school, no, not old school, but it's like multi-level. It like looks cool inside. There's like a dance floor, and it turns out we're the only band fucking playing, the only one. No opening, no closing. What's around us? We go on at 1 a.m., 1 to 2 a.m. set. Prior, from 11 to 1, DJs. From 2 to 6:30 in the morning when the club finally closes, more DJs. We're in France. We're in Biarritz. Butters, I mentioned him a long time ago when he said, don't let this go. He's been my musical confidant for years. We've made their electronic, like, you know, CDs. Like it has a series of, you know, tracks or whatever on them. And these Parisian house DJs, I always thought were the fucking coolest people in the world. The coolest, like, you know, you're in France. Like it's this like sharp, sexy, cool sound. It's actually very similar to, I mean, it's not the same genre or anything, but it has that same, it gives you that same feeling of like, yeah, fuck yeah, here I am. This is me. It's sex, it's cool, it's modern, and it's everything. And that's the vibe that I always got from those French DJs. Anyway, so we're supposed to go on at 1 a.m. Around 11 o'clock, I talk to the promoter and I say, I need a favor. I want you to introduce, or one of your crew to introduce this band. And he's like, okay. He's like, well, what do you want me to say? I'm like, well, let me tell you 5 minutes before, because I don't want you to be, you know, like forget what I say now, so I'll just keep it fresh in your mind. Okay, fine. Here's what he does. He brings this gentleman to me at like 12:45, 15 minutes before we're supposed to show, you know, start the gig. man, this was fucking incredible. It was awesome. So he brings this guy up. I said, do you get nervous in front of crowds? He goes, He goes, this is like what I do. I said, great. This is the band. You have one singer-songwriter. He's the heavyweight that everyone's been waiting for. They just signed their management deal. They're cutting their teeth here in Europe. When they leave and they go back to the US, they're gonna blow up. But they're here now working on their stage presence, on their, their look, polishing things up. And guess what? We're out of Brooklyn, Los Angeles, Paris. Make sure when you say it's a Brooklyn or a New York-based band, underline the fact that their bassist is Parisian, or sorry, living in Paris, because they're gonna dig that. And they're gonna blow up when they get back to the US, but they're here now and it's a privilege to meet them.
Bonsoir, bonsoir. Bonsoir à tous, bienvenue à l'Escargot pour le dernier soir du Sausage Fest. La musique de ma vie, vous venez d'écouter Balea Honda avec Sharky Gorka et Jean-Cyde de Port, Moi Moi à la pomme. Et mesdames et messieurs, ce soir nous avons un seul groupe live. C'est un groupe qui vient de New York. Si, ils viennent de New York. Le bassiste est parisien. Ils viennent de signer, c'est un énorme label, ils sont en tour Europe et rentrent aux US dans une semaine pour faire des énormes shows. Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue à Acid Tongue qui va jouer tout de suite. Allez les saucisses, bonne soirée.
I don't know what the fuck, how that translated or his understanding of English, although I think he was highly proficient. I was so tickled when I heard that intro. I absolutely was. And it was all in French. I don't speak that language. I wish I did, but whatever he said, there was a little bit of buy-in from the crowd, and all of a sudden Acid Tongue comes up with Humpty Dumpty. Do, 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 do. And the fucking... this crowd they go ape shit, and it was totally packed, and they just played. Jason said this was the best live set they've ever played with any band, not just Acid Tongue, any band. And then Guy said it was one of his top 5. And Alessio also said it was the best set he's ever played. So during this whole time, when they go on, actually it was a few minutes before they went on, I heard the following. I heard that from the gentleman who introduced us. Before he did the introduction, he said this. He said, DJ Falcon, he's announcing at the party that he's at that Acid Tongue will be playing, so we all just pick up and we go over there. I said, DJ Falcon? I'm like DJ Falcon, like Alan Brack's DJ Falcon? He goes, yeah, you know him? I said, I've because of my relationship with Butters and our discs, I've actually had not all of their music, but like several tracks on these 13 playlists for the past decade. I love this music. So it registers in my mind. He says, well, when he comes to you, he's my friend, I'll introduce you. I said, that's great. He shows up, I'm outside, the stage is right there. The whole fucking crowd is pressed up against the stage, but the stage isn't elevated, so it's everyone's on the same level, and there's a whole crowd, they're trying to hold themselves back. You have the stage where it's fucking Guy, Ian, Jason, and Alessio, and they're banging away. The music sounded great, everyone's moving, and then the DJ's girlfriend comes out and she starts dancing, not on the stage, but between the backstage and the stage, and she's dancing, and he takes note of it. And he already hears that the manager for Acid Tongue knows DJ Falcon's music. So, I go and I stand by the girlfriend, and I'm between him, the DJ, and his girlfriend, and I'm just like dancing, I'm evaluating their set, and they're just fucking laying into it, and the crowd is responding, and there are people there, and it was just fucking, it was. So I'm trying to figure out how to use my time in Portugal the best way, and let's see. I think I have an idea of what I want to do, how I want to end this thing. It's going to require us to get there. Let's see, today's Monday, so we only have a few more days of this, and then it's over. So, I think I realized why I'm a good manager. Actually, I had two people come up to me and say, "Oh, you're a really good manager." That's because I've learned that what these guys need, they're all, in their 20s, they're relatively young, but what they need is guidance and understanding. They need compassion, and they need to know that when they have an issue, rather than sort of internalizing it and sort of, avoiding it, they can just, come up to me and say, "Hey, James, here's what's going on," or sorry, Jimmy, here's what's going on, and I'm going to just listen to them and, try to troubleshoot the best I can. Try to help them fucking navigate this like twisted world, because someone's got to look out for them. And it was really nice tonight. Alessio has been sick all day, and he was running a fever, and it's just so fucked up and sad. But I went down to the Pharmacia, got him some cold medicine and some stomach medicine, and here you go. Gave him an extra blanket, and he slept, and then he woke up and ate a little bit, and then he was like, "I'm going back to bed, guys." We're like, "Okay, here's some more medicine." He took it, put his little glass down. It's just nurturing for something, nurturing these like young guys who are in the same situation I was in when I was their age. It feels good. It feels really good. You just gotta be understanding and compassionate. You can't fucking run away from things when they come up. You just gotta listen and show humility and empathy. So it's not bad. It's actually the best. Sometimes people need help, For me to be able to help these guys through this time in their life, it's the most rewarding experience I could ever ask for. Oh, sorry guys. Yeah, we're good. I just want to get the nuclear power plant. I've never actually seen one before. No, never. There's a key phrase here, just throughout Europe. We're in Lisbon right now. There's a key phrase here. 6 words. It doesn't matter who you approach. If you have this band in your presence and you say New York City rock and roll, people understand. They understand it's a band from New York City that plays rock and roll music, and they will help you in any way they can. We went to a restaurant tonight, and the guys were starving. We all broke away. We were pissed off at each other. I mean, we weren't pissed, but Alessio was like, "I'm done. I'm not walking up another hill." Guy and Jason were like, "You know what? It's right over here." They were in line at Burger King. Talk to some people, talk to some more people. I got to fix this. And walk up to a restaurant called Sacramento. The chef, Fernando, he's sitting up top on the terrace. He looks down. The people say, "Oh, no, the kitchen's closed." I said, "Listen, I'm here with the band. It's New York City rock and roll. They're starving. Anything you have, we don't care what you have. Just throw it out on a plate and we'll eat it." And the chef hears this. He goes, you from New York City?" We say, "Yeah." He goes, "I love music." He's like, "What do you want?" I said, "It doesn't matter, man. Whatever you have." He says, "How many people?" I said, 5. "We'll sit down. No problem. We'll be quick." He said, "I'll take care of you. You have any allergies?" "No problem." And he did this. It's like, I have my other hand here, and you just bow. He's like hold on, let me put on that. We sat and we ate these steaks. Had some appetizers, some cocktails, and we were gone. New York City rock and roll. People understand that. Because every major movement, every cultural shift, it always comes from New York. It always comes from New York City. Every fucking time. See that? They think, look at them looking. They don't understand we're filming Truth Rabbit right now. Oh, they threw some ice. It's very thoughtful. New York City rock and roll. The guy said it was the best meal they've ever had. We're staying at a great hotel. We made so many contacts tonight. We're gonna play an acoustic set at the restaurant tomorrow. After the set that we play. No one understands what's happening except me. The whole band has no clue. The people who just threw ice, they have no fucking clue. It's a package deal. This is the best fucking band in the world, and I guess I'm the only one who knows about it. Well, DJ Falcon knows about it, and on October 25th, guess what? After Guy spoke to him for half an hour, it was 10 minutes I walked by, he's still talking to him. 20 minutes I walked by, he's still talking to him. 30 minutes I walked by, he's still talking to him. 40 minutes I walked by, they spoke for 45 minutes, I think at least. He said this, he goes, I'm gonna bring you to a party in Paris on the 25th of October. Guy was already gonna be there. Alessio's gonna be there. The final date of the Rolling Stones European tour is on October 25th. Guy Keltner, Alessio Peck, they're gonna be in Paris, staying at Guy's place. And guess fucking what? Jimmy Gatsby, underestimated since day una noche, day one night, came through as the fucking heavyweight manager for the biggest band in all of rock and roll. This entire generation had no band. You had no representative, nothing but the guitar. It was about drum machines, it was about mixing, it was about production, but there's nothing. There isn't one fucking instrument in the entire fucking world that can pull at your heart like a fucking guitar. Guy Keltner makes the product, the band polishes it up, and I swear to God, when you read about this, nah, fuck that. At the end of the day, this is the product. People know it. I scouted them. They have the fucking delivery. I got the capital, and I can put them in front of anyone in the fucking world. It's the coolest, sexiest, most beautiful music you'll ever hear. So I guess I'll just go ahead and pass it off to the production company. Play a banger right now. Play some fucking ass. Good morning. Final day. I can't wait for this to be done. I've been thinking a lot lately. And to pull this thing off, I mean, you know, I learned this back in Los Angeles. You know, the whole thing with Michaela and I was fucked from the beginning. It was totally fucked. You got a geographic issue. First, we live in different cities. Secondly, we both had, you know, some insecurities which I think manifest themselves, surface with each other. So you got a geography problem, you got some insecurity issues, then you have a career problem. I mean, Michaela, this girl's fucking born and bred Southern California. She's worked in the movie business. She likes entertainment. She likes music somewhat. I remember one of the first, I guess maybe it was the second time we met there. There were some celebrities in the bar where we were at, and she just lit up. She's like, you know, I mean, you could tell immediately, like, she responded to that. And they were pretty big name celebrities, some of the biggest actually. So you've got that issue. I mean, who the fuck am I? I'm some piker from Dallas. What else do you have? Oh yeah, and then okay, so how do you go from not being able to talk, text, send some flowers to apologize, fix the geography issue, and incorporate the celebrity so there's not a fucking career problem? How do you do that in one shot? You make a movie. And to make a movie, it's got to be about something meaningful. And I couldn't think of anything better than helping a couple, some young guys fulfill their dream. How does someone with no experience in the music business or the entertainment business pull something like this off? How do you create the biggest band in rock and roll? For all the qualities that a sociopath has that are negative, I think there are some that turn out to be somewhat positive. You got to tap into those to pull something like this off. So, we're here in Lisbon. It's funny. You got to be a fucking lion to pull this thing off. You got to roar. You got to fucking roar. Hello. How are you? Good. It's a co-working space. Can I get a space for the day to work here? Yeah, exactly. Straight ahead. Perfect, thanks. Where do I go?
I'll be myself. If it's the last thing I do, life empties out on you eventually. I tried to figure it out, tried to plant the seed.
Well, I spoke to Guy, and I think we have the transition down. Less is more. So, about a block away from the Lisbon co-working space where I think some folks are going to join us from tonight, and we're going to put everything together. It's been a lot of hard work, and hopefully we can show these digital nomads a good time this evening. Maybe we can film it in a special way, or maybe we can't. No way to find out, but you have to try. So, I guess we'll give it a shot. I guess we'll give it a fucking shot.
No, dun, da, 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 da. Oh no, dun, da, da, da.
Yeah, man.
Okay, we got
That sounds good.
it.
Yeah. So what you just saw was the final touch up on the actual song. Now I just have to work on the transition from instrument to instrument, where Guy switches his guitar with Alessio. Alessio hands it to Jason, and then Guy grabs the mic and he fucking goes with it. So that's it. That's it right there. That's the show. Let's see it tonight. Let's have people record it. It's gonna be great. 1. Let's shoot. Action. Go.
See
Close your eyes, and I want you to think of the concept of your mind. Not your brain, your mind. Disregard everything about yourself, your skin, your head, you know, what you look like, what race you are. Just think about your mind. Now, if there's a God, because I know this has been subject to debate for the past, let's say, 6,000 years. If there's a God, your mind must be connected to its mind. But if it's connected, how would its mind communicate with your mind? It does it through coincidence. Think about what a coincidence is. All a coincidence is, it's something that is special to you with two elements that have no relationship, but because of your mind, you understand their significance. No bad coincidences. They're always positive, too. Think about this. They're specialized to your mind, and they're always positive. That's how we communicate with God. And everything you just saw in this movie was a series of coincidences. Now, the only reason I figured this out, well, I'm really fucking smart. But also, I had some help. I had the ability to record what was happening and review all the footage. And what was funny is I kept noticing these coincidences. Big coincidences. Explain to me, for example, how 1 week after I lose the love of my life, and I'm a guy who only listens to music. I mean, 95% of the time I listen to music. The other 5% I watch Michael Mann movies. Now, how the fuck does in 7 days I bump into a guy, coincidentally, while on a 17-hour first date, who is the best singer-songwriter in the fucking world, and his uncle is the reason Michael Mann movies look the way they do? Just a coincidence, right? Now you start to stack up all the other shit that led to them becoming the best band in the fucking world. All coincidence. Now how come I got hooked the fuck up with those coincidences, exploding this band, proving the existence of God? Why me? I just happen to be the guy with all the tools. I'm recording everything that's happening. I'm intelligent enough to understand how small the probability is of any one of these events occurring, let alone all of them in sequence. I don't take fucking no for an answer. I'm well capitalized and I don't give a fuck. I'll hop on a plane and fly across the world just like that. That's the only reason it was me. And my job, my mission on fucking earth is to explain to everyone that all Jesus did was he understood this psychological trick. That when you experience any coincidence in your life, that is a message directly from God. Now, if you are bad-natured, there's all this other shit, like if you're bad-natured and not doing something like, selfless, you're not gonna get as many coincidences. But think about what I was doing. I didn't care about any cost, any problem, any pushback, There was no goal of money or celebrity. All I wanted to do was get my fucking girl back. And I knew she liked movies. She loves them, in fact. So I'd make her a fucking movie. Not for profit, not for celebrity, just for the fucking sake of making it out of pure love at any length. So, how do you use this to help your life? Think of something totally selfless, run at it with everything you have, and you're gonna start to notice coincidences. Now look, it's very important you understand this. When you start to experience these coincidences, you need to pull out your fucking phone. And you're gonna record it just like I did. Because when they start to stack up over and over again, what's gonna happen is something that's a game changer. And it's not some script written by someone out in Hollywood, but it's a script written by God. How's that sound? Okay, I'm gonna talk loud because, well, I don't have my headphones. Those are gone now. I just gave Uncle Goose a hug and said goodbye. And he said, well, come back to LA and I'm gonna have a photography gallery opening. I said, that's great. And guess what he's been doing for the past 30 fucking years, aside from taking photographs? He's Michael Mann's chief principal cinematographer. Not only did we have dinner last night, because he's fucking Guy's uncle. He's Guy's uncle. But we also, I stayed there. I slept on his couch. We woke up. We just had a conversation about things being, his style of photography being all about reality, catching people's different flaws in their faces, you know, creases, birthmarks, shit like that, scars. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, wow, talk about the connection, not only for, you know, the whole Michael Mann thing, him being my favorite director, but also in terms of just shooting people up close, exposing their flaws. And I don't know, What a great conversation. Oh yeah, and by the way, I closed fucking Marco yesterday. About to go meet Marco, the top promoter in the fucking United States. I'm in a bathing suit and a shirt with a whale on it. I smell like chlorine, and I had a couple strawberry daiquiris on my way here. At the pool before I got an Uber, because he had a cancellation. I'm gonna get Marco, and then French Touch is gonna get on board. Hey. Do you hear that noise? What is that? What is that? What? Acid tongue? That's acid tongue? That's the Barit show.
I'm just your zero.
figure out what to call this whole thing. And something about, I'm a millennial, and we catch a lot of shit. Now, I'll tell you this. The gentleman who coined the term millennial, they said 1982 was the first year. Now, it goes as early, like some people say 79 and it changes or whatever, but the people who coined the fucking term, they said 82. Coincidentally, I was born in 1982. So I'm one of the older ones. But I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Fuck that. How about this? We got the Old Testament, we have the New Testament, and now we have the Millennial Testament. And what you just saw, because I know I apologize, it's a little long, but it sets the structure for everyone moving forward to contribute their stories that are powered by God. Truth Rabbit represents the first book of the Millennial Testament. I think I've convinced 90%, maybe 95% of people of the existence of God, but I said prove the existence of God. So now we're gonna get in the fucking miracle business. Book 1's done, that shit's a wrap. You saw it. The miracle is when you go out into the world and you start to communicate with real people face to face. That's the important part, you see. A coincidence can't happen without people. And we're not talking about people texting each other from across the globe. Fuck that. You have to be face to face. Your minds have to be physically close to connect. Coincidences, something about them is special, but let's hear yours.
So every day, if I find a dime on the ground,
Okay.
then it's a great chance that I'm going to find that $20 bill because I try to raise $20.
It's one thing leads to another kind of thing?
Now,
Right on.
so I'm sitting here talking to this other woman who's homeless,
Sure.
and I told her this exact same thing. And she said, wait a minute, I told you that. No, you didn't. I said, that's what I do. And she does the exact same thing.
My dad actually saved up money in a shoebox to buy my mom a wedding ring. And that's a lyric in the
And that's a
song.
lyric of the
Yeah.
song? Wow. Good, and the sound too. Yeah, great. So what's the biggest coincidence you've ever had in your entire life?
So my biggest coincidence I've ever had in my entire life is that my youngest sister's name is Julie, and my best friend's oldest sister's name is also Julie.
Really?
Yep.
And you don't hear Julie a lot as a name.
Yeah.
You know?
It's pretty low key.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and that is my biggest coincidence in my life.
I dig it, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. And when they do, and you see the coincidences appear, and you record them, once we see a killer story, just, different than Truth Rabbit, but as impactful or impacting, who gives a fuck? We'll package it up, and we're gonna give it away to the world for free, and that will be book 2. Any takers? You wanna make book 2 of the Millennial Testament? And as that's happening, someone else is going to pull out his or her phone, and they're going to start recording. And then we'll start making book 3, and then book 4, and 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I say we let this bitch roll for the next 1,000 years. Now you tell me, if we all start pulling out our fucking phones instead of hopping on an app, texting, or just even taking a selfie, what if we start recording acts of God and giving them away for free? That sounds very peaceful. That sounds like harmony to me. Anyone want to give it a shot? I did, and look what happened to me. I get to manage the best band in rock and fucking roll. Oh, I get to return rock and roll to society, and I get to be happier than I've ever been in my entire life.
sizzle. Hold me in your hand. Hold me in your hand. Useless energy, useless arguments in bed. Why did I tell you that? Why did I put that in your head? I tried faking it, pretending